Welcome back to Beneath the Surface podcast. I'm Adam Kress, Supply Chain Director. These are the O'Brien brothers.
This is like
We're going to introduce you to them today,
Oh,
folks.
no.
Please make sure you smash the like button of this podcast. Please subscribe to the Beneath the Surface podcast. Welcome to Beneath the Surface podcast. I'm Adam Kress, Director of Supply Chain, brought back by popular demand. Today, I'm here with the O'Brien brothers, Morgan and Taylor. It's really been a takeover of the O'Briens. Morgan's been with us for how long?
Going on 5 years now.
Taylor?
Going on 1 year.
And you followed Morgan here? Morgan got you the job, huh?
Something like that.
Good. So
He knows a guy.
He knows a guy. He knows people that got you in here. It's glad that we got you, Taylor. You've made a difference already, and we're excited to see what's coming next. But let's go back here and really get to know you guys from the beginning. Taylor, tell me about your childhood growing up with Morgan. How was he as a big brother?
He was a good big brother. He didn't beat me up like other big brothers, so that was a positive.
Yeah.
He did make me go everywhere with him and make me play sports with his friends and beat me up in that sense, throw me the football and have me get wailed on a little bit, but I would say it was a positive experience.
Yeah. And Morgan, you're still dragging him to sporting events nowadays, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been grooming him for a long time, so I finally wanted to reap the benefits. So brought him to Deepwell to start making some waves.
Take some of your workload off you.
Yeah,
So midget league football, you both played?
both played.
Both played.
Dad growing
Dad
up?
was the coach.
Yep.
That led into high school?
In high school, I'd like to take this opportunity to say that I blocked for him on his first touchdown of all time.
That is true.
You owe him,
Lead-
Taylor.
lead
I mean,
blocker.
I feel
So-
like you owe him forever for
Yeah.
That is true. He was my fullback.
that. Good running back never forgets the guys that block for him.
Can't.
That's
You
right.
know, that's
Can't
at least
do
what
it.
Mulvihill would tell you. So then after that, we go through high school. We both go to college for,
For my undergrad, I went for chemistry.
I did geology as my undergrad.
and we got something past undergrad. I'm
Yeah,
feeling
so
like,
then,
huh?
so then the Marcellus Shale kind of took off, and we had both worked at a refinery in our hometown that we talked about there before. Marcellus took off, and I was like, hey man, this is a cool opportunity. So I went back to school for my master's in petroleum engineering at Pitt, and somebody copied me.
It seemed like a good idea. Applied to a few other schools, but Pitt seemed to be the best fit for me, so I did follow in his footsteps to Pitt.
Did you have any jobs you didn't follow in his footsteps, Taylor?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mowed the cemetery at Oak Hill when my first job.
I mowed a cemetery at St. Bernard's.
Different
That's
cemeteries.
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Same job, different company. And that theme followed forward in your life because you both worked for operators, but different operators, right?
That is correct, yeah.
Correct. I worked for PGE when I first started as a drilling engineer, and then we got him an internship.
I did intern at PG. Yeah. Correct.
Okay. So did follow him at that
Did
one. But
follow
then,
him at that one.
Morgan, you went on to some bigger gas companies, right?
Yeah, so then I went to EQT, worked at EQT in the drilling department for a couple of years, and then moved on to ExxonMobil, XTO Energy up in Warrendale, Pennsylvania, and I was a drilling and completions engineer for a while, and then operations superintendent before I left.
Taylor, what other operators did you work for?
I worked for over 10 years for Seneca Resources in Cranberry, PA. A lot of time in the field in my first 5 years. Worked on drilling rigs, called frac jobs, then moved into the office, did operations engineering on both sides as well.
I guess whoever one of you want to take this first, but Morgan, what made you leave the operator side and come to the service side, and especially to come to Deepwell in general?
Yeah, so that's a super interesting story. I did leave Exxon to go to work for a startup right in 2020 before COVID was official and before everything happened. So I found myself very quickly out of that job. Kind of blew up in my face a little bit. I was an out-of-work petroleum engineer. Oil prices were literally negative at one point in time. So I thought I was truly in trouble. And John Sabo reached out to me, said he heard I was looking for work, had a couple interviews, had a couple beers at Fisher's, and he found out I played college football, and that was it.
We know how Sabo recruits young football players, boy.
Yeah, and I started in a business development position, which was way outside of my normal scope. I'd never worked in sales or business development or anything like that, but honestly came to Deepwell and just fell in love with it. Here I am today. We've had an exciting ride.
Yeah, you've even brought your brother in. What made you
Yeah.
reach out to him? Just how much you love the company?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I mean, I know I had a bunch of swag that I greased him up with over the last couple of years, but then
That was all put forth in my disclosure statement as gifts. Thank you.
But yeah, I don't know. How did that really come up?
I think it was something along the lines of, things are going so well here. We're growing so quickly here. I really just need more people. I need more of me, essentially, to try to help manage certain things. And when he was describing the things that Deepwell needed, I was like, those are skills and traits that I have that I think I could bring to the table. So I was at a point in my career where I was looking for a change, looking for something exciting, and working in the oil and gas industry for as long as I have, and seeing service companies come and go, seeing the markets change and seeing how service companies adapt to that. It was always interesting to see what Deepwell was doing. It was like, these guys are growing when no one else is. And they're not just surviving, they're thriving when a lot of companies are packing up shop, going out of business, leaving the basin. And it's like, something seems different over there. And that was really what brought me over.
Kind of throughout our lives together, if you were to look at the two of us, I kind of go first, make a lot of mistakes. Historically, my brother's done a great job kind of following me and perfecting everything that I've done. I'll give you a little
about it like that.
I'll give you a little credit. I read a book one time. There's just two different kinds of people. There's the creator and the fixer. And I think that throughout our lives, I've kind of been the creator and he's been the fixer. When we got BoreSite and everything kind of grew, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, this is a big business. I need a fixer. Who's my best fixer? The guy's been in my career my whole life. All of our customers now are asking for more and more information. They want more data. That's kind of how BoreSite Edge came to fruition. BoreSite data acquisition system goes on our units. It's great. It streams all the data, but at the end of the day, you can't truly see what's going on downhole unless you have the whole picture. And that whole picture is tying in your chems, tying in your flowback, tying in your pit level monitoring, all those types of things. So we've built some solutions for our customers that have really been game changing. We called it BoreSite, a little play on words. Obviously your well bore, you want to have sight into your well bore, and we're also on site. But ultimately, without all of the data, you don't have a clear picture. You can never actually see downhole, but the more data you can get, the better idea of what you have.
And so we're all clear. It's site, SITE, correct?
Correct.
That is correct.
Cost myself some swag by spelling it wrong in an email to Morgan once, so I want everyone else to be aware of that.
Thank you.
How does the BoreSite Edge lead into our next venture, the chemical injection skid?
So BoreSite Edge ties in directly with our next product line, which is BoreSite Chem Unit. We are rolling out our own chemical injection units that will tie directly into BoreSite. So with our torque and drag models, we can predict torque downhole pre-job for our customers via torque and drag modeling. We already can track our torque in real time for downhole conditions. Now with our own chem units, we'll be able to automate that process for chemical injection based on what we're seeing in real time.
Now you mentioned something about modeling there. We model it before we do the well, and do we make recommendations to customers, or?
Correct.
Is that what we do with that?
We'll make recommendations for modeling for our customers pre-job, and then we'll be able to monitor in real time what's going on. Traditionally, we can make recommendations to the operator based on what we're seeing, but with our new chem skids, the goal will be to potentially automate that process based on what the actual conditions are and not leave it up for human interpretation.
By having the pump, the flowback, the chemical injection, and the snubbing unit, and then the modeling, I think we got enough of the picture there.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty cool.
Those units also unmanned and fully automated. So
that's the difference between our chemical injection skid and everyone else's, or is there a difference out there?
There are some other chemical injection skids on the market that are unmanned, but the problem is they're actually unmanned. When we have our pump division out there, we have guys out there to go support our units when other companies would need to make a phone call and send their guys out. Also, we have the benefit of having that torque and drag model built in, so we will be able to automate based on the torque and drag model, where our competitors who are just chemical companies aren't going to have the ability to do torque and drag modeling for downhole operation.
That's a big advantage for us there in the market, huh?
Oh, yeah.
AutoSep, guys, it's groundbreaking technology I keep hearing, but can you dig into that a little deeper? What is, the AutoSep unit, and what does it do for Deepwell?
So the AutoSep unit is Deepwell's entry into the flowback space. Our ACUs are integrated in post-drill out flowback. So we bring our units in to clean up the wells before they turn into permanent production. What we've done is combined some aspects of traditional flowback with automation, combined some equipment, condensed our footprint to the point where we're now able to reduce a lot of manpower through automation and run a lot of our equipment remotely so that our guys aren't exposed out in a red zone area where now they're sitting in a command center, able to monitor things through data and having our data streaming to portals. Through BoreSite-like features where we're building that platform out to where we can use BoreSite to project our AutoSep data.
So technology
Exactly.
is our advantage in that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's technology in a space that traditionally hasn't had a lot of technology built into it. Historically, flowback's been kind of dumb iron. You just rig it up and take it over to a tank, right?
Have our snubbing units been working with AutoSep a fair amount?
We are deploying traditional, conventional flowback on drill outs. So we are out with our units a fair amount doing drill out work as well as frac watch. So.
Now, have we brought in any experience in the flowback world? No offense, but I know you guys weren't flowback hands. Do we have any experience we brought in?
Absolutely. We've built and are building a very talented team from our ops manager down to all the hands that we hire. We do a really thorough deep dive. Our HR department's done an incredible job of attracting talent all the way through our supervisors. We've got quite a team. The guys in the flowback space are very excited about the automation, the technology that we have. They're running to join our team, and it's very exciting, the team that we're growing for AutoSep.
Has there been any thoughts about a oil field Olympics between flowback and snubbers? You give any thought to this? I've heard a lot of going back and forth between snubbers and flowback hands.
That's a good question. That's the first I've heard of it. I don't know who I'm putting my money on. I don't want to be split between those teams.
Yeah, well, there is a basketball game every Thursday. I advertise it every time I'm on the podcast. I know Ricky said he's going to come, but he's yet to come. Both of you guys playing that basketball game, correct?
I have played before, yes.
Yeah, and I don't mean I'm the godfather of the basketball.
You are the originator, Morgan. That's
I
kind
feel
of
like this
why I
podcast
asked it that way.
comes up on the podcast a lot. I'm not a basketball player, but I like to work out. I like to run around. So we started a basketball league.
Yeah, that's one thing Morgan Taylor didn't follow you in that aspect. You played basketball,
I did
right?
play basketball, correct, yes.
Yeah, I was a wrestler.
Okay. Your layups reflect that,
It shows,
Morgan.
Yeah, it shows.
Your layups definitely reflect a
That's
wrestler.
fair.
I'm a wrestler as well, so I'm with you.
Fair.
But it's a fun time. Anyone who's listening, Thursday mornings at the Cranberry YMCA, 6 a.m. Show up. We need more players. We're going to have a little healthy competition here. Despite all the sports we've talked about you two playing, I've been surprised to hear that you have a unique talent, and we're going to do a Rubik's Cube race. Let's get the cubes out, boys. Okay, let's get cubing in here. I'm very surprised or disappointed either one of you.
Did you guys know about this?
You got to mix them up.
Yeah, what are we going to start from having them done?
I don't know anything about a Rubik's Cubes. No, don't touch it. Put it down. That's not yours.
This is a setup.
That's not yours, sir. Please put it down. Taylor's claiming he's been set up. Taylor, this will now be yours. Morgan gave you an unfair advantage. Wow. Begin. Taylor, what's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Gina.
Do you have any kids?
I have one son, Benjamin. He is 3.5.
If somehow you're enjoying this, please smash the subscribe button. I've only seen this done a couple times on ESPN, and those guys were way better.
We're a little bit.
I'm going to charge extra for this. All right, so growing up, who was the troublemaker, Morgan? They finished. So go back and mix it up a little and then boom it again, because I was talking during
I
your
can't.
ending. Do one move and then slam it down.
Oh, that was a trick.
Taylor with the official win.
God.
Taylor gets the win, folks.
Unbelievable.
Well done. Changing gears here, let's get serious again. Morgan, do you have any advice for a young petroleum engineer coming out of school?
I think petroleum engineering is a challenging field to get into. So before you get into it, you should know that this is a very cyclical industry, and you have to be willing to travel. You have to be willing to go to remote locations. I think anyone who comes into the engineering field needs a good dose of field experience. So, I tell the BoreSite guys all the time that this company was built on the backs of the field employees and the HCUs. And, it's important that we respect that and know that the hard work that goes on in the field shouldn't be taken for granted. So, I think getting some field experience when you first get started as an engineer is very important. I make all of our engineers go out for a 1 to 2 week hitch when they first start at deep well. I think that, they have a good time typically, but they get a really good understanding of how tough it is to work out there. The other thing I would say is, learn as much about coding and programming and data analytics as you possibly can, because that's where the future of the industry is going.
Man, how do I follow that? You don't know anything. So whenever you do start your job, show those around you respect. Try to learn as much as you can on the job, because at the end of the day, everything is on the job training. So as an engineer, a lot of times you learn certain things and certain theories, and you think that's going to be the end all be all. But at the end of the day, you need to learn to work with others. You need to learn how to compromise, how to clash with different personalities, how to adapt to those personalities. And in the end of the day, that's going to make you successful if you can do all those things.
Working with field operations, working with field personnel, and approaching it with a almost a servant mentality, or you're there to assist, you're there to help make the operation better.
Taylor, Morgan, thank you for joining us today. We had a lot of fun. Please join us next time when we get beyond that drill bit with Beneath the Surface. Thank you. Please remember to hit the subscribe or like button. Can you put it up there?